मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततः मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Before we start the 12th chapter, just recollect the 11th chapter because we've been dealing with it for such a long time. We started the chapter, I thought we'll, move faster, but as usual, we are going very, very slow. When Krishna gave a detailed presentation about how he pervades the entire world, how the Lord is omnipotent, omnipresent, the all-pervasiveness when he described in great detail in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, Arjuna gets a great temptation in him to see that in one form. So what Krishna explained in the 10th chapter, Arjuna wanted to see now. So in the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna asks Krishna, requests him to show that Vishwarupa. I wanted to see how you are pervading the entire universe. So please show me that. I want to see, says. Because it is quite natural for a person to have that. It is nothing wrong in that. But then what is required here is more than your desire to see. What is needed is qualification. And as far as Krishna is concerned, to show that universal form, only qualification required is you should be a devotee. That's all. Strictly speaking, even if you are not a devotee, it doesn't matter to him. You ask him, he will show. Anyone who comes out, on the way, when he's driving on the road, when somebody, stops him and says, can you show me quickly one Vishwarupa? He will show one Vishwarupa and go. This is Krishna. Because as far as he is concerned, it doesn't matter. But it has a lot of implications for the person who is asking. The one who is asking needs to understand what he is asking. You see, now Krishna didn't bother, so he shows the form. This is the chapter. Now, in this, certain ideas needs to be understood here. What is happening is, we all understand, all of us experience the world. Our intelligence cannot digest what we experience, has no beginning, no cause. It is not possible for human intelligence to appreciate it. It will not appreciate. It will search for the cause. Why this is happening, from where it has come. So when they start this inquiry, is because the creation is seen, creator is not seen. If the creator is also seen, and the creator actually creating is also should be seen. Remember, it's not that isolatedly we cannot keep two personalities. Right? To claim someone who walks into the painting exhibition and says, I am the one who painted this. How will you deny? Imagine I come in and say, who did the painting? Me. Now, you have only two options are there. Either you agree or you don't agree. You cannot rationalize there. You cannot reason there. You see? So our problem is, even if we say someone to be the creator, we should see him creating actually, no? The one whom we have never seen creating, if he claims I am the creator, right? This is the predicament of human being. Even if God comes in front of you today, your intelligence will not agree to it. Why? Because you should see him actually creating the world. Where will you stand to see that? You can give the canvas, you can give the painting brush and the paint and ask Ishwaran to paint. Then you will know whether he is a painter or not. Isn't it? Otherwise, it's not possible. That's why only in this religion, we have portrayed God as a dancer. No other culture presents God as a dancer, a musician. See, Krishna is playing flute. He's a musician. Similarly, dancer, Nataraja form, performing the cosmic dance. Now, no other culture visualize God as someone who will be dancing. Fascinating one. Why? Because dancer and dance can never be separated. If the dance is removed from the dancer, what happens to that dance? Dance will disappear. Dancer will exist. Dance will not be there. If you want to extricate creator from creation, if you remove creation out of creator, which will disappear? Creation will disappear. Creation will not exist. Creator will exist. You see, creator is there. Factually, you cannot distinguish. That is why they presented him as a dancer who performs a dance. Cannot separate. So they said, can you separate God from creation? If you separate God from creation, you get into one trouble. Then you get into theological trouble. One is this logical trouble, right? Then you get into one metaphysical issue also there. Another logical issue will be, if God has to create, with what did he create? What is the material he used to create? From where he got that material? Isn't it? If you want to make a mobile phone, you need material, no? Raw material is needed, right? Without a raw material, how will you make it? Semiconductor industry I'm going to put up. You need material, no? Without a material, how can you? You cannot. So any creation requires a material for the creator. Now the problem we have is, with what material he would have created, which means before the creation itself created, creation is there. If you say this is the material he used, then again we will be asking the same question, from where he got that material? Who created that material? It will go to infinite regression. So therefore, the only conclusion you can arrive at is, God used himself as a material. He is also the material cause. Once you have made him the material cause, then you can escape. Otherwise, if you say that some other material is used to create the world, we are in trouble. So now what is interesting is, if the material cause is God, then what is important aspect there is, from creation you can never separate the material, isn't it? From the pot, can you segregate clay? That is why I said dance and dancer can never be separated. If you separate, you are in trouble. So initially, when they want to introduce God, they introduced God as someone who is in the remote space, far away from this world. Where is he, sir? He is in Vaikunta, he is in Kailasa. Shivaloka, Kailasa, we can't say no. We are in trouble now. Right? Vaikunta. He is sitting in Vaikunta. And what he will do, sitting in Vaikunta, once in a while he will come here, he will bless us and go back. He will come. Whenever he comes, he has to put on some dress, some costume he will wear. And every day he can't come in the same costume. It will be boring. So every time he comes in different costumes. So one day he will come as Varaha. One day he will come as Parasurama. One day he will come as Rama. One day he will come as Narsimha. One day he will come as this. One day he will come, depending upon that time. Whatever costume there he will put on and come. What he will do here? He will come, bless, and go back. He will appear and disappear. Appear, disappear. This is the concept of God, the very, very preliminary stage. Very primitive understanding of God. Very, very basic understanding is God in the remote, distanced from us. Then we have God, which is imaginary God. This imaginary God will be depending upon who is imagining. Whose imagination that is? Whose visualization is that? all buffaloes were to think of God, they will think of God as what? Buffalo only. Big buffalo. If all elephants were to think of God, elephant only. All the properties, the qualities of elephant will be there in that God. Similarly, if humans were to visualize aliens also, we visualize aliens also as what?
Modified human beings.
Humanoids.
Change. But
Essentially, all transactions of humans they will also have. They will also have anger. They will have love. They will have frustration. They will have fear. They will have this. All that we are experiencing, they will also experience. Like this movie, they have that. Where is that? There is one mission. His job is to all the debris. World is completely destroyed. Only this one mission is existing. His entertainment. What is the movie?
E.T.
No, E something.
No.
Extraterrestrial.
No. E.T. is very old one. I'm saying this is a recent one. This is his job is to make blocks. All the debris, will take scraps, will make edifice, and then one alien will come. Alien ship will come, and he sees that alien ship. He falls in love with that mission, and then there is a love affair, Laila Majnu. That's all it is. Now, mission also you have to have as what? You're making a movie. You're making a fictional movie. We know it is absolutely fictional. Even there we have to bring in what? They also become like humans only they are. And then there is a villain, there is a fight. And then finally, there is a separation, and then pangs of separation, and then they unite. There is a climax, big fight. Because it is English movie, there is no song, item song, and all that. Otherwise, definitely, if it is if were to be a Telugu fellow would have made that movie, they would have made one item song also in between. Why? We cannot think. Remember, our imaginations can go only to our life and our knowledge and our understanding. So initially, we understand God only as imagination, because we cannot not posit a creator. And in the world, we are not able to see the creator. So therefore, we think what? Creator is somewhere in some other world, some other loka, as what? If we are having 2 hands, he will have 4 hands. He have 1 head, he will have 4 heads, 5 heads, 6 heads, 12 hands, 24 hands, 36 hands, thousands of hands. Now you cannot imagine anything other than human. This is the further development of that idea. Then we come to this conclusion, say, no. There is no necessity for you to imagine God. You don't need to imagine God, because God could not have created the world apart from the material which he has derived from himself. Which means the creator is in the creation. So if the creator is going to be in the creation, in every aspect of creation, he has to be there. Which part of the pot does clay occupy? Entire. You cannot find a single area of pot where there is no clay. Now, 11th chapter is moving from this imaginary God, remote God, to perceptible God, for which you need a Divya Chakshu. Divya Chakshu means a special vision. Special vision is what? Special vision is a new spectacle, a transformed understanding, a perceptive understanding. You may get that perceptive understanding temporarily, or you may get it permanently. You could have been provided with that, or you could have earned it by yourself. One is gifted to you, another one is earned by you. If it is gifted to you, 11th chapter, which is just a sample, remember. Like when you go to these ice cream shops, they give you sample, no? You can't be getting satisfied with the sample and walk out. Now, there are people who will go there, take the sample and walk out also. Right? But then what will happen to them? The sample is given to you so that using that sample, once you have tasted that, you will not leave it. You will want it. You will want to buy that. You will want to earn it. That's the idea of the 11th chapter, where Krishna gives that Divya Chakshu to Arjuna. So in the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna requests, I want to see. Krishna says, see, now which God you want to see? Do you want to see the God who is remote, imaginary? Or you want to see a God who is right now here in the world? The God who comes and goes you want to see, or you want to see the God who is always here? Which God you want to see? Arjuna's point is, I want to see the God who is in the world now. So I wanted to see Pratyaksha. I don't want this imaginary, Kalpita. That is not what I want. I want this. So when he is asking for that, Krishna gives Vishwarupa. Now, if you have to get that Divya Chakshu, of course, here it is dramatized, as though Krishna gives that Divya Chakshu and all that. But remember, this dramatization is only for us to understand. It's a poetic presentation. Okay. Here, what is referred here is, how do you get that Divya Chakshu to see that Vishwarupa? Vishwarupa is that entire world is seen. That's why in the temples, if you see, I remember first time I heard this word when we are going for this, Ayyappan temple, Yatra. In that Tiruchendur, we went. We reached there the previous night. Myself, my father and all of us, we went there. We slept in the temple only, premises only, we slept. Early morning, around 3 o'clock, my father got up. He got ready to go to have a bath. I know if he gets up means he will not get up quietly. If he gets up means immediately everyone will wake up. That's how he is. So we also got up. We asked him, what are you doing? He said, I'm going for Vishwarupa darshan. I said, Vishwarupa darshana? Enna Vishwarupa darshan? He said, come. I said, I will also come. I said, okay, come. But you have to take bath, he said. I said, Moon Manika. 3 o'clock you have to take bath. I said, okay, we'll go. So we all went. And had bath and applied, vibhuti all over, and then all went into the inside the temple, and that's the time the priest came and he opened the garbhagraha. He opened the garbhagraha and moved the screen, and he showed one arati, and then he closed. He said, "Yeah, let's go." I said, "This is the God we saw yesterday night." He said, "It's the same thing we saw yesterday night." I came back. Yeah, I thought something else is going to be there. Nothing was there. I said, "Avladana." I said, "Avladana pola." I said, very handful of us. About 30, 40 of us were there at that time, morning. I asked him, "What is that?" My father didn't knew the answer, so he got annoyed. Whenever they don't know answer, they get annoyed. Say, "Shut up." I couldn't keep quiet. So I asked somebody there, Vishwarupa Darshan, என்னது இது? What is that? Say, Vishwarupa say is all other time you go and see God. First thing he sees is the time where God opens his eyes and sees you. Vishwarupa means God seeing you, not you see God. You go there and say, "Present, sir." So he makes a note, okay, all these fellows have come today. Good. That's a note. That's why it is very, very important. Any temple you go, the best one they say is this. This Vishwarupa Darshan is very not easy to get. Because God has to see, Now here, Arjuna is asking, I want to see that God. I want to see that Vishwa. Here Vishwarupa is very different. Here Vishwarupa is, I wanted to see the entire world as his Rupa, his form. That's a Vishwarupa. Vishwa means world. So I wanted to see the entire world as his form. So to see such a thing, you need a vision which is transformed. You need an understanding. You need a special perception. What is that perception? To see everything as his form. First requirement is you have to drop this is mine. Right? My car, but he is the owner. Every சொல்ல முடியும். It become like, மாப்பிள்ளை இவர் தான், சட்டை என்னது? The groom is there. But the shirt that he is wearing is my shirt. It will become like that. You see. That will not be accepted. Either you claim mine or you say his. You can't have double standard. You cannot say certain things are mine, rest are all his. N block, you say mine, or you say N block, his. So Vishwarupa, if you want to see, fundamental requirement is you must have that ability to drop this mine. So that is how you develop it. It's not that he is going to show or anything. I don't think that Krishna actually started growing. No. His vision changed. The moment his perception changed, he saw the whole thing. And started describing. In this chapter, we see Sanjaya also coming in and giving a detailed description. And Sanjaya's description looks far better than Arjuna's description. And Sanjaya describes, he requests 12 verses and then he starts. From 13th verse, Arjuna starts experiencing and describing, and he is getting so excited. Arjuna is really excited. Full description. Sanjaya's description and Arjuna's description. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. He is appreciating the beauty of it. But somewhere down the line, Arjuna takes that vision for granted. Right? He takes it for granted. What is that he has taken for granted? Something as mine, he has taken for granted. These are all my people. See, that he has taken for granted. But he has no problem, Krishna, claiming the sun, the moon, the stars, this, this various other, forms, this, that, all those things he is claiming as his only. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Arjuna has no problem. The moment he realized that Krishna is claiming what is his, what is Arjuna's, he could not take it after that. Right? Up until he saw the mouth, there is no problem. Right? Consuming. Everything gets consumed through mouth. Right? Same way that Vishwarupa form is consuming now. Consuming also, Arjuna is not having a big problem. You see, that time also Arjuna is not having a bigger issue actually. He starts seeing that from 25 onwards. He starts seeing that. The destructive side, the creative side of the Lord, the maintenance side of the Lord, the beauty side of the Lord, and all when he saw, like all other parts of the body, he sees. Many hands, many feet, many creatures, many head, eyes is this, nose is this. All that description, Arjuna had no issues. But when he saw the destructive side, the Lord, he starts feeling a sense of discomfort. The final nail, the coffin, was in the 30th verse. In the 30th verse, the fellow collapsed. The collapse of Arjuna. Where he starts describing how destructive it is. He's pulverizing, putting, people are entering his mouth and he is chewing them, powdering them. And people are sticking between the teeth. And he is consuming. The form is consuming all that. And where he loses him completely, what he could not digest was the form after consuming all that, licking. Nice. With the destruction, when he says it's very nice, that's it. See, destruction you can see. Like a lot of people, they watch this National Geography, where a tiger is chasing a deer. And it's running. It's so interesting. You to see that. I switch on that and watch other people. Group in the house, I switch on that. I don't see there, I see here. And it's so interesting. Everyone takes the side of the deer. They want the deer to escape. That one is not that version what I have is where a leopard is chasing. I think it's leopard. Cheetah and leopard, I don't know the difference. Are they same? No. Cheetah. Cheetah is different, no? Cheetah. Long time. I'm getting a doubt. That was cheetah or leopard. I think that's cheetah. It has a long tail. It's cheetah. Oh, it's chasing. Oh, how it escapes. Escape. It's not leaving. It's running. Pah. You can't see that. That tears open and eats. People can't see it. It's stuff. Now here, you see, human beings are consumed. Consuming human beings, he is enjoying worse than a terrorist. Worse than that. Arjuna could not take that. He breaks down. Completely he breaks. That fear, that discomfort of him. He never expected God to be someone who will be destructive so much. That is a time he wonders, what are you? How can you be so destructive? Because I am told God is creative energy. I know God as a creative energy. I've never understood God to be, I was never told God is a destructive energy. Now suddenly he saw that, he could not, means he has understood. That's the meaning of it. He saw that means he comes to realization, God is not all creative. He is destructive also. Destruction is part of it. That's the time he asks, who are you? He says, I am that Kala Tattva. He says, I am that time. All devouring time, man. I've come here only as what? Only to destroy the world. My job is not creation. My job is destruction. Portfolio changed. I got promoted from creative to destruction now. So when he says that, Arjuna gets confused. Aren't you supposed to be compassionate? Isn't it? God is supposed to be compassionate. What happens to your compassion? What happens to your this? That's the doubt of Arjuna. And Krishna gives that explanation. Look here. I am neither going to give you pleasure or pain. Remember, pleasure and pain in life is your interpretation. I am not giving it to you. Then who is giving it? In Mahabharata, Shanti Parva is a fantastic story that comes. Yudhishthira gets that, a feel of guilt. I became the cause for the destruction of the entire, Kauravas. All killed because of me. Even though he didn't kill anyone, only Bhima killed. All the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, who killed? Bhima only killed. Right? Others Allah who killed? He didn't kill. Factually speaking, he was killed by those people. But he felt that, because of him only the whole thing has happened. So he goes to Bhishma. and asked Bhishma, I'm feeling so guilty. I don't know. I am the cause. And Bhishma gives a fascinating story. Very big story that is. Big story. Where it seems in a village, there's a widowed lady and her only son. Very, very obedient, nice boy. One day, when these two had come into the field to do work, to take care of their field, a snake comes and bites and that boy dies. Right? Bitten by snake. One hunter comes that side. He sees that. And the lady is crying. My only hope was this son. And this will also gone. Now what I'm going to do in my life? And she is crying. And the hunter sees that and he catches hold of that snake and says, you bit this fellow and killed him. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to chop your head now. And the snake has a conversation with him. Don't ask me how it speaks, which language, Allah. Okay. Snake says, look here, hunter, I am not the cause. Look here, I am only an instrument. Because this Marana Devata, the Lord of Death, has instructed me to do this. So, if at all you want to punish, you should punish who? Punish Marana Devata, not me. Lord Yama. And this fellow hunter is such a great hunter he was. He called Lord Yama came. Right? They in the courts and all, they send a summon, no? You should appear before the court. No, they have to appear. There's no choice. Like that. This hunter is asking that Lord Yama comes. And the Lord Yama says what? He says, what's the case? He says, how dare you give instruction like that? So I'm going to kill you. Not the snake. The hunter says, I'm going to kill Lord Yama. Lord Yama says, look here, man. I'm not the one who is supposed to be punished. It is the Kala Devata is the one who has given because his time is over. Then the summon goes to Kala Devata. Kala Devata comes. Time. He comes and says, what is why did you do that? I'm going to punish you. Meanwhile, that lady comes and says, what is the point of punishing all these people? My son is dead anyway. No point in punishing them. He is not going to come back. Leave. You go your way. He says, after seeing some injustice, if I don't do something about it, I will get sin. So for that, I have to punish. Therefore, I will make this inquiry, he says. The lady says, no point in punishing all these people. Leave them. Because anyway, he is dead and gone, finished. There's no point. I don't want, they cannot bring him back and all those things. That's not possible. Nor can we, by killing them, what's going to be achieved. He says, if you allow such adharmic fellows to exist, they'll keep doing like this to everybody. So as a person who is supposed to be upholding the dharma, as a man who has the strength, the person who has that strength should protect the weak. So I have strength to challenge who? Yama, Kala Devata and all I can challenge. If I don't do, that's wrong. Therefore, I am doing my duty, he says. Now we wonder, you can't say he's wrong. Nor can you say this lady wrong. The lady is correct actually. She says, what is the point as far as she is concerned? Then he starts that inquiry again. He says, what is your answer now? Kala Devata comes. What is your answer now? Kala Devata says, see, everything works as per that timing. Yes, who fixes the time? Tell me. Their own karma fixes the time. So if at all you have to punish, who you should punish?
Yes, sir.
If the hunter has to punish, who he should punish?
The boy who
The boy. No point in doing this one, that one. There's no point. So, Yudhishthira, if at all you are going to be crying, it is their own creation. They are all operating only as is this. Therefore, Arjuna, what you should do, you also function exactly like that Kala Tattva. As what? Nimitta Matram Bhava. You just take yourself as an instrument. Let you be the instrument and operate. This is the central idea of chapter 11. Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachin, says. 33. So, therefore, Arjuna, what you should do, you be the instrument in my hands and kill. After seeing this words, this knowledge he gets, that fear gets transformed into bhakti, surrender, devotion in Arjuna. And to that form he surrenders. Right? He surrenders to the form and starts requesting the form to save him, protect him, this, that, and all that. He starts praising that form. He starts glorifying that form. He has a elaborate glorification was given about that form, and then finally he says, "I surrender to you." But he doesn't say, "I will do your bidding." That he is not saying. He only says, "I surrender, surrender. Please forgive me for what all I have done in the past." All that, etc. All those things he is asking. Protect me, save me, take care of me. I I surrender to you. I am your bhakta. All those things. Then, even then, Arjuna is not able to hold on to that vision. This is the problem of borrowed vision. Even if it is a Divya Chakshu, if it is borrowed, you are always in trouble. That's why we say don't take loans. Borrowing out. You are in trouble. No matter what. Because when you borrow, it will look very, very nice. It will look very logical, sensible. But then you're completely after a point, that same borrowing will become a problem to you. What you see with that borrowed vision will start weighing heavy on you. You cannot shoulder that. Then what you will say? Get off. Then he says, take it back. Come back in that original form. That Krishna's form, you come back. This is 45. Right. And then Krishna comes back in that form and tells him, Arjuna, how to get that vision of your own. Now, initially, I granted that vision to you. I lent it to you. Now, Arjuna, you need to understand that you have to gain that vision of your own. How do you get to see that Vishwarupa? Not through the Vedas, not through the study, not through lot of tapas I do, lot of this, nothing of those things. By itself will give you. All those things needs to be done with a particular. So you have to deserve it with a conscious effort. That's where he throws the seed for the 12th chapter. Right? It's a basic idea of the chapter. So after doing that, that chapter stops. Then the next chapter, 12th chapter, Arjuna asks a question, that idea develops. Right? Yes.
This fear converting into bhakti, isn't it different from, one being a bhakta by his own nature? We have understood bhakta, karma yogi, and this one. How do we?
See, in this case, what is happening to Arjuna was, for you to experience bhakti, which is an emotional state, intense emotional state, for you to experience that intense emotional state of devotion, you should have experienced some emotion in that intensity. If I never experienced the intensity of any emotion, if you have seen everything as a lukewarm only, nothing will happen. In Arjuna, that the fear is so intense. Now imagine Arjuna to get scared. That's how we need to realize. If Arjuna says scaring, what should be that form? Is the intensity. Because one thing we can think is impossible for us to conceive. Isn't it? Impossible, sir. I am so scared of poverty. Bill Gates, Mukesh Ambani, even if he is not doing any work, can he get to poverty? Pauper? It's impossible. Now, poverty and this person will never go together. Same way, Arjuna and fear can never go together. Impossible for him to get scared. He can fight with Agni. He fought with Lord Shiva. Single combat. He goes to Indraloka and helps Indra to fight against the Asuras. Like that, he wins over all those people. Gandharvas, Devas, Asuras. Forget about human beings. These are all human beings. Is Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all these are human beings. He had fought with people of that caliber, all alone by himself. Fearless. That's the name of Arjuna. If he has to experience fear, how intense that experience would be. That's the catch there. Fear not in the sense of actually getting scared like what we understand. You see, that intensity of an emotion which he has never dreamt of in his life. How can he dream? No chance. He goes to Nagaloka, that Nagaloka's king, welcomes him and gives his daughter, Mary. Please take her. There that fellow goes, says, and he had the courage to abduct Krishna's sister. Can you withstand the ferocity, the furious of Balrama? Let's take a risk. Krishna says it's risky only, but let's take a risk. He takes a risk. Right through his life, not a single scenario where we have seen Arjuna withdrawing. Even in the Draupadi Swayamvara, where all the kings fail to shoot that arrow, and they were living incognito, fearing their life is under threat. He can't afford to expose. He comes and he takes and shoots the arrow. In Vyasa Bharata, even Karna comes and shoots. Not only Karna comes and shoots, Karna's son also comes and shoots. You know that? Weird it'll look. Because our imagination of Karna is very different. The same lady, first son says, let me try. If he wins over Karna, who is she for Karna? Daughter-in-law. Now that fellow goes, he fails. Now Karna says, you tried your luck, no, now let me try. What sort of a thinking is that? This dimension of Karna, nobody knows. Nobody talks also. I'm not here to decry him or anything, but then, we need to understand the condition in which Arjuna was. They were scared. They were living on alms. But he did not bother. Same way, in Virata Parva also, exposing is a risky one. Without any, without consultation, without, permission from Yudhishthira, Bhima and anyone, he single-handedly fights against the Kaurava army, exposing Arjuna. He brings the Gandirva and fights. And the moment they hear the sound, they know it is Gandirva. And Duryodhana says, you are exposed. Imagine, you are exposed means what a risk that is. No. Fearlessly he takes. Because he is right. He is in the right position. Right through his life. For him to experience fear. That's what we need to understand. Which means something which is impossible for you to have experienced at all in your life. Even in your dreams, you wouldn't have got that. In the dream also, you can't believe Arjuna could have, but he experienced it. Such an intense experience is a fundamental requirement. One of the ways of doing it. That's required. Exactly like Tulsidas. That intensity with which he was involved with his wife, when that intensity got exposed, he dropped the whole thing. Similarly, Purandaradasa, Pattinadar, they are all totally money-minded, absolutely money-minded fellows. Such a miser, personalities they were. His wife would say that, please check, is there any Brahmin going out to call? He will wait till that fellow goes to the end of the street, the beggar. After the beggar goes to the end of the street, he will come out and says, is there any beggars who wants to have food? Can come. And then he'll come inside. And his point is what? I've asked already. Nobody was there. What can I do? You serve me. Unbelievable miserliness. That extreme miserliness, money-mindedness of theirs, how much they got involved with money. Pattinathar was not an ordinary, businessman. When the king needs money, he will borrow from him. His sons alone, whenever they get bored, when we get bored, we used to take that bat and ball and go down and play. When his kids get bored, they would take the ship and go into the ocean and collide. That was Pattinathar's wealth. That money that he had was so much so that pleasure for them was what? Two ships they take inside and collide with each other and see, let's say, which one breaks, mine or yours. Can you believe the wealth? Even then, that fellow will not give 1 rupee. Impossible. When such an extreme got exposed, that intensity is what is 11th chapter is. That's why when you are reading it, we don't understand what is going on, because it's just a piece of information as far as we are concerned. See, this Purandaradasa's wealth is unimaginable wealth. And he is so worried about one nose ring. The fellow's focus is on that one nose ring. Hey, it's like unbelievable one. Like I just saw somewhere, it seems, one professor was explaining how wealthy Bill Gates was. I don't know now, right? Then, if he sees $100 note, it's a loss for him to bend down, take that and put it in his pocket. That will take 3 seconds. He says in that 3 seconds, he would have made $250. Bending and taking and putting it in his pocket is a loss. Can you imagine what is that? During Purandaradasa's period, he had over 9 crore coins, gold coins. Now Koti, he is referred as. Now Koti Narayana. How can a man amass such wealth, can even remember that nose ring? Yeah? Because Rama, you see, Ramayana, when you go, in Ramayana, when this Sugriva and all, show the jewels of Sita, Rama was not able to recognize, actually. So, to double confirmation, he is asking Lakshmana, isn't it this is her necklace? Lakshmana says, I don't know. Isn't it her nose ring? He says, I don't know. Is this her, bangles? He says, I don't know. Is it a ring? No, I don't know. Everything that flow. Why he is asking that confirmation? Double checking. Finally, when he showed that anklets of Sita only, Lakshmana says, yes, 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 this is Sita Mas only. Correct, correct, correct. Yes. After that, only Rama collapses. Till then, he was not sure. He gets that fit, he gets into that, he faints. When he faints, when Lakshmana confirmed that this is Sita's anklets, and Rama asked him, how do you know? All other things you don't know, this only you know. Because I have never seen her, I have seen only her feet. And every day when I prostrate, I have seen that anklet, so I know that. Says, I'm very familiar with this anklet. Says. Fainting. Rama could not see, right? But this fellow could register that one nose ring. How much of detail, how much of involvement. When that got exposed, transformation happens. Same way, what is an impossible thing for Arjuna to experience in his life? One emotion which is not a possibility for him, that is fear. One thing Tulsidas cannot drop is his wife. One thing Purandaradasa couldn't drop was his wealth. One thing that Arjuna cannot even believe, fear and me, I'll never have fear. Not scared of anything. Now, we will also say that. I'm not scared. I cannot drop. I cannot give up. I cannot, do this, all that. But not to that intensity. All our, involvement is also lukewarm. All our detachment also lukewarm. That's why no transformational experience we have. Whereas Arjuna had the transformational experience. How? Because what is an impossibility, he experienced with intensity. Totally transformed. All that he requires is one such experience in life. The problem we have is we never allow that to happen. That one thing we'll never allow. That's why, all our life we do only hit and run case. You touch the world and run. You touch God and run. You touch world and run. Touch God and run. All that you have been doing is what? Running up and down. You run towards the world a little. Small problem, you start running towards God. Run towards God. And then small problem, run towards world again. Little temptation is enough. Run towards world again. A problem, run towards God. Little temptation, run towards world. Little this, little that. Little this, little that. That's why he says, Ananyaya Bhakta. The one who has that Ananya Bhakti. He says, the one who has that Ananya Bhakti alone can afford to experience. Others cannot have this experience of it. You see, so adhaan Bhakti. That is where you are qualified. Otherwise, there is no qualification as such. So when he says Ananya Bhakti, the one who has that Ananya Bhakti alone can get it. So not by these disciplines, various disciplines he gives, not by karma, not by this, which is the same thing he said in the 9th chapter. Remember, he's not saying anything new. That's the same thing he said in the 9th chapter. How you get it, sir? Okay, you have to do this, he said. Here he says, by doing these things by itself, you will not get it. Then how you will get? You are going to get it only by that devotion. Therefore, there is an inquiry into devotion. Bhakti Yoga. Since he said this is a special one, Vishwarupa is not possible. If you want to have the steady, sustained the darshan, of Vishwarupa, what you need is not just a temporary devotion, a superficial devotion. The superficial devotion and the temporary devotion will grant you the temporary vision. That's all. It will be given to you, it will be taken back from you. In fact, God will not take it back. You will give it back to Him, which you cannot withstand. So, therefore, prepare yourself well before you get in. So, it is not that God is transforming there. Remember, now in Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, it is not Krishna transformed into Vishwarupa. It is Arjuna's transformation. If it is temporary, problem. You cannot withstand it, you cannot stay there, you will start running backwards. You will fall back. Right? If you want that to become permanent, that's where he concluded the 55th verse. Very important verse. So in the 11th chapter, read the verse now, most important verses. 33 and 55. Right. Now, how you get it? He gives the disciplines, how you are supposed to get. That sets the platform for chapter 12. What is it? Not by these things, but by devotion only you get it. So Arjuna starts asking question about devotion. What is devotion? To whom I should be devoted now? Was his query. A small chapter. Right, very small chapter this is. 20 verses only. Chapter 12. Easy chapter. In terms of size. Content wise, it's a heavy chapter. Content wise heavy.
So this extreme fear which is converting into bhakti, that also Arjuna getting it is again the grace of Krishna, that he finds him qualified.
Krishna finds everyone qualified. That's what I said in the beginning itself. Anyone he sees on the road says, I want to have Vishwarupa Darshan. Will you show me? He will show. Everyone he will show. People did not ask. Nobody asked him. Only few people asked. He showed. He has no issue. It's not that, that's what I said. Krishna need not transform to show Vishwarupa. You have to transform. If you are not transforming life, this experience of Arjuna is a hook. It's just a sample. That sampling experience is given to every human being. The problem is we are not holding on to it. The hooks were thrown, but we are escaping from that. We have a knack of escaping from this hook. We don't understand this. Therefore, he says there is no need to have this idea of when will God come and show me? Will I also get that Vishwarupa Darshan? People actually long for it. Which means, where are they? They are still in that Kalpita Rupa. Primitive. Very, very preliminary. Very, very elementary stage of religion. Now, when you progress from the, no doubt, that's the first stage. No doubt about it. Correct. There is no other option you have. But you can't stay put there. You have to transform. But is seeing that Vishwarupa the final? No. That is also not the final. Why? Because even there is a distinction. So what is this, sir? Okay. From world dependent to God dependent, from God dependent to from that Kalpita Rupa to Vishwarupa. From Vishwarupa to Kalpita Rupa Darshanam will happen. That's how God will come, bless you, go back. In which form He will come? The form in which you want to see, He will come. That remote God. He will come. He will show the form. In which form He will show? He will show the form exactly as you have visualized. He'll come like that. You don't have to worry. But as soon as He comes, He will go also. He will not be there. He's not going to be staying there permanently. That is not possible. It's a temporary one. Vishwarupa is not as temporary as Kalpita Rupa. Vishwarupa is more permanent. But Vishwarupa also not permanent. Why? So long as the Vishwam is existing, Vishwarupa will exist. When we say Vishwam itself is not permanent, when the creation itself is not permanent, what about Vishwarupa? So Vishwarupa also not permanent. So what is to be done, sir? From imaginary God to universal God. Universal God to
There's no difference between, there's no other God, there's no God.
no God. So where you started now? You started from no God. Is there God? I am not seeing anywhere. Finally you land. Where? There's no God outside.
Self.
Then where is God? I am that. So from world dependent to God dependent, from God dependent to self dependent. Imaginary God to universal God to self. From Kalpita Rupa to Vishwarupa to Kalpita Rupa Darshana, Vishwarupa Darshana to
Self-darshan.
Arupa Jnanam. See,
Nirupa.
Arupa. You can say Nirupa also. Nirrupa, Arupa, no Rupa. No Rupa. You can't have a darshan of that. Which is the peak, which is referred as Sadashiva. Shiva in the form of what? Shiva in the form of deity, Nataraja. Then we say, no. Shiva is not Nataraja form. He is actually what? Linga. Which is neither form nor formless. Then we say what? No. He is Sadashiva. No form. There's no form. That's the peak. Arupa. Arupa darshan don't say. Right? Arupa jnanam. That is where you finally conclude. So where are we right now? We are right now in the position, the text, not in your life. Your life of this still we are. Is there God? Is still there. You know. We are ready to move from there. Now in the text, where are we now? Now we are moving from Vishwarupa. We have come up to Vishwarupa. Standing at that Vishwarupa, inquiry is going on now. Remember the context. Right? If you miss the context, 12th chapter will become difficult. The context is started from the 7th chapter. 7th chapter, 9th chapter, 10, 11. 8 chapters slightly off, because of Arjuna, not because of Krishna. Now Krishna comes back in the 9th chapter. Where he left in the 7th chapter, he comes back too. But incidentally, he says something this fellow took off. So Krishna goes along with him and brings him back to original discussion. 9, 10, 11. Now, up to Vishwarupa, we have come. On inquiry with reference to what is Tat. Right. Bhakti Yoga is the next one, next topic. Chapter 12 is titled Bhakti Yoga. Very small chapter. Only about 20 verses only it has. Now, what we discuss here is, there are few questions. Now, before we go in to the actual verse, there are some preliminary understanding we should have with reference to Bhakti. Right. So there are some basic ideas are needed to be understood with reference to idea of what is devotion, what is surrender, what is Bhakti Bhavana, what is the real nature of Bhakti, how to progress in Bhakti, what is the way to progress in Bhakti. That also we should know. Then we have to know, how do you measure the progress? Of course, okay, you are putting in effort, you are progressing. How do you measure it? Measurement of your progress. Sir, I have got that devotion. Today I am feeling so devotional, sir. So nice. Tomorrow, devotion gone. In my experience, devotion comes and goes. I put in so much of effort and built that. Will that also go? MSc Chemistry. Do you remember anything? Nothing. Yeah. Organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry is there. We don't actually. Why? Because it is all forgotten. Who was your class teacher? Don't remember. All forgotten. Same way, I get this. Bhakti, will this also disappear? How to ensure that it is not disappearing? So much of effort I put in, I progress, I get that Bhakti, X amount of Bhakti I get. Will it sustain? How do I sustain it? Or do you mean to say it will sustain by itself? Something should be there, no? Either you should say, sir, these things will sustain. It's like riding a bicycle. Once you have learnt, means rest of your life you will not forget. It's not like chemistry, sir. It's not like that. It's not like mathematics. It's not like chemistry. This is, once you gain, does Bhakti like that? How do we say Bhakti is like that? How do you ensure that is a? How do we know? Okay, with all this Bhakti, where it will lead me finally to? Okay, finally with all this devotion, what will happen? Where is it going to take me? Who is an authentic Bhakta? In Bhakti, there are false Bhaktas, there are amateur Bhaktas, and then there are genuine Bhaktas, then there are seasoned. So depending upon who you are, where you are, only treatment can be given, no? Sir, temperature is there. I have fever. Fever is there. Give me tablet. First thing, doctor will do what? He will not start writing a prescription. First thing he will do is take a thermometer and put it in your mouth and check what is the temperature. If the temperature were to be 102, do you know the difference between 102 temperature and 100 temperature by touching? By touching, you will know one thing. What? There is temperature. That much you can know. But can you know how much? Because without knowing what is the temperature, how can you start the treatment? Similarly, you can be a bhakta, but how do you know which type of a bhakta you are? You are a false bhakta, or you can be a amateur bhakta, or you can be a seasoned bhakta. What type of a bhakta are you? Without deciphering where you stand, what is your intensity of bhakti? How do we know? This is 12th chapter. Providing answers to all these questions is chapter 12. That's all. How do you know, sir? What is bhakti? Who is a bhakta? Where to begin? How do you know you are progressing? Will this progress be sustained by itself? Or you have to put in special effort to sustain it. One is to build it. Next one is to sustain it. What effort has to be done for that purpose, for this purpose, etc. That's 12th chapter. Bhakti Yoga. For this, you need some basic understanding. So first we will cover some basic idea about bhakti and then move on to the chapter proper. Right? We'll see in the next class. There's an announcement. Yajna. See, initially we thought of having the lectures offline, but we are not able to